This is The Mint live on ZTN Prime, your sneak peek into the world of business, finance and economies. I'm Ibn Mabunda. Let's get started. Coming up, the prices of oil and gas have soared and stock markets have fallen after Israel's strikes against Iran have gone on rampage. The escalation of the conflict in the Middle East, the focal point of global oil production, prompted a sharp increase in wholesale prices. Brent crude surged by more than 7% over the weekend after news of the attacks broke, briefly moving above $75 a barrel to its highest level since April. Prospects for Bulawayo's construction industry appear promising following the local authorities' approval of building plans worth $4.6 million in April alone, a clear indication of growing interest in the city's property and infrastructure sectors. From spicy sauces to premium cosmetics, South Africa presented a diverse and flavorful range of products at the 4th China-Africa Economic and Trade Expo in Changsha City, central China's Hunan province. Egyptian General Petroleum Corporation has made a new oil discovery in the Abu Sennan field in the Western Desert, the Egyptian Ministry of Petroleum and Mineral Resources announced yesterday. Now, a Gambian farmer visiting China has hailed the assistance provided by Chinese agricultural experts in helping to modernize farming practices in his country, boosting incomes as well as employment. European stocks 600 banks were 1.3% higher at 9:55 a.m. UK time, while oil and gas stocks gained 1.18% as investors took in the latest from the Israel-Iran conflict, which is driving crude oil prices sharply higher and reigniting inflation concerns. Namibia's Minister of International Relations and Trade, Selma Ashipala Musavi, who was attending the 4th China-Africa Economic Trade Expo in the central Chinese city of Changsha, praised China's commitment to a zero-tariff policy towards African countries for promoting unity in the global south. And on Monday, TikTok unveiled a slate of generative AI tools designed to help automate creative production. They'll not only live natively on TikTok, but will also be integrated within Adobe Express and WPP Open for marketers' use. Of course, we'll take a look at these stories in detail here on The Mint. The Mint will be right back. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to The Mint. We're coming to you live from Zimbabwe's capital, Harare. Now to our stories in detail. The prices of oil and gas have soared and stock markets have reacted negatively after Israel strikes against targets in Iran. The escalation of the conflict in the Middle East, the focal point of global oil production, prompted a sharp increase in wholesale prices. We saw Brent crude surging by more than 7% over the weekend after news of the attacks broke, briefly moving above $75 a barrel to its highest level since April. We're now joined live by Tapiwa Kusereka, a financial analyst, to get insight on the gold price movement. Tapiwa, tell us more.
It's not coming as a surprise to see the commodity market gaining momentum in recent days, while the financial market tumbles following the new development in geopolitical space involving Israel, Iran and Syria, together with the support of Israel from the United States of America. Usually geopolitical tension followed by other economic factors, because those geopolitical risks affect the economic fundamentals like inflation, like monetary authority behavior, fiscal authority behavior, because some of those major economies, their central bank usually resorts to weak or loose monetary policy in order to finance some of the war-related things which triggers inflation in those major economies. So due to that inflation, usually inflation drives the appetite of investors down, and investors usually resort to gold as a safe haven, because gold, we all know that it hedges inflation. It's an inflation hedger. So many investors prefers to hold gold instead of currencies for those countries involved in war. Unfortunately, countries involved in war are major economies, including United States of dollar, and we all know that the United States dollar and the price of gold, they relate inversely. So major investors, they move their investment from dollar denominated to gold to seek a hedge for their investments.
I will come in there, Tapiwa, to ask how this will affect Africa and economies that have gold as a significant foreign currency earner, like Zimbabwe in this case.
We are highly likely to see a continuous improvement in price of gold in recent days, especially given the response of Iran to those major economies to respond negatively or harshly. And we all know that a response will trigger the inflation and continue to drive the price of gold, which is beneficial to our country. Zimbabwe is one of the biggest exporters of gold in the southern region. So we are highly likely to see a big gain if you manage to export more gold during these days, since the price of gold is highly likely to continue to improve. So we need to take advantages of those geopolitical tension in major economies and try to export as more gold as possible, so that we continue to improve our books. Is the earnings from gold is likely to improve as well in response to that. So it's a disadvantage to other countries, especially to the Middle East, but an advantage to us, which are very far from those geopolitical crises, and we are going to benefit from that price increase. So it's a benefit to us. So it's up to us to produce more gold during this season and gain from that price increase. I believe we are going to do better if we are going to capitalize on that.
Tapiwa, thank you for speaking to the Mint. Now, prospects for Bulawayo's construction industry appear promising following the local authorities' approval of building plans worth $4.6 million in April alone, a clear indication of growing interest in the city's property and infrastructure sectors. According to the latest report from the Environmental Management and Engineering Department, the city of Bulawayo processed a total of 697 building plans during the month under review. Of these, 316 plans completed the review process, with 176 receiving approval at a combined value of $4.6 million. The remaining 140 were preferred back for corrections, while 381 plans remain under consideration in other departments. New submissions also surged, with 334 plans valued at $6.3 million lodged with the council in April, representing a significant 56.07% rise compared to the previous month. These submissions generated potential revenue of $63 million in plan submission fees. Building inspection activity mirrored the growth in proposed construction projects, with 1,659 inspections conducted in April, an 11.8% increase from March. The inspection led to the issuance of 75 occupation certificates. Additionally, 33 dilapidated structures were assessed for compliance and 4 public buildings underwent safety evaluations. In total, inspections and related operations generated an estimated 10,063, of course, in potential revenue for the council. The city's construction boom is also stimulating growth in related sectors, with rising demand for hardware, cement, steel and finishing materials. Real estate agents and property developers are expected to benefit from the increasing number of approved projects. Local contractors and artisans, including bricklayers, plumbers and electricians, are also capitalizing on the boom, resulting in more job opportunities and broader economic benefits for the city. In Tutu Ziatunga, I hope I pronounced that correct, of course, that boom there taking place in the city of Bulawayo. Now time for us to take a breather. When the Mint returns, South Africa's highlights trade diversity at 4th China-Africa Economic and Trade Expo. The Mint will be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Didn't graduate. I guess I blew it.
You couldn't advise him anything. He would just look at you and say, so who do you think you are?
We were just like really spoiled.
And then they just give me the receipt and I'd pay.
The guy walks in one day and then he says that he wants to make a movie.
He was blowing the money.
There was just like this habit that he had where as soon as he got money, it was gone.
I just didn't have the skills or the experience.
This money, I could see it disappear so fast.
Harare, tune into the beat.
Capitalk 100.4 FM, your source for news, business, sports, fashion, and more.
Experience the pulse of Harare's culture and lifestyle.
Capitalk 100.4 FM, Harare's top radio station.
Join the conversation with Zimbabwe's top personalities.
Subscribe now for fresh and infotainment content daily.
Capital 100.4 FM, Harare's heartbeat.
Welcome back to the Mint. We're coming to you from Zimbabwe's capital, Harare. I'm Ibn Mabunda. Now, from spicy sauces to premium cosmetics, South Africa presented a diverse and flavorful range of products at the 4th China-Africa Economic and Trade Expo in Changsha City, central China's Hunan province. Zanele Carol Sani, Chief Director of Expo Promotion and Marketing at the Department of Trade and Industry, says South Africa is expanding its trade offerings and inviting Chinese consumers to explore the full spectrum of its products.
You see a number of consumers who are interested in our products, and you see that throughout the many countries there's a lot of interest in what African suppliers actually have to show to the Chinese consumer. So it's very exciting to be here. We are actually excited about everything that we have brought here. The products that we have, they range from the basic commodities, including some of our nuts, like luxury nuts that the Chinese like to have, like macadamia nuts. We've gone up a notch because we want to diversify our trade with China. So we even have products like cosmetics, and we've seen that there's a lot of interest.
Now, Sani also said that South Africa is home to a broad array of mineral products and is keen on showcasing some of those industrial products at this very platform.
Really to showcase what we have as a country, the diversity of our industrial base, and really to experience it for yourself, because we believe that the proof is in the pudding. I know that's an English say, but come and see so you can see the diversity of what we have.
Now, the expo had its curtain lifted at the Changsha International Convention and Exhibition Center on Thursday and remained open into Sunday. Nearly 4,700 Chinese and African companies, along with over 30,000 participants, were set to attend the four-day event themed China-Africa Together Toward Modernization. Organizers reported that the value of preliminary agreed upon cooperation projects exceeded $11 billion. Now, Egyptian General Petroleum Corporation has made a new oil discovery in the Abu Sinan field in the Western Desert, the Egyptian Ministry of Petroleum and Mineral Resources announced on Sunday. Preliminary test results from the new GPR-1X well are highly promising, indicating daily production rates of up to 1,400 barrels of crude oil and approximately 1 million cubic feet of gas from the Baharia formation, the ministry said in a statement. Beyond immediate production, the discovery is also expected to add a substantial 2 million recoverable barrels of Egypt's oil reserves. Chairman of the EGPC, Mohammed Abdel Majid, confirmed that the well is currently undergoing testing at the production station. He also highlighted optimistic indications of additional petroleum presence in the Abu Rawash G and B formations based on electrical logging data. The discovery is the second in this mature area within the last 3 months following the EGPC discovery made in March, the ministry said, adding that both successes have come after the EGPC's teams utilized artificial intelligence technologies. It underscores that the Western Desert has not yet revealed all its secrets and that employing modern technology opens promising new avenues for exploration in mature fields, the ministry added. Egypt aims to become a regional trade-hub for oil and liquefied natural gas after major discoveries were made in the country over recent years, including the Zohr gas field in the Mediterranean, which holds an estimated 30 trillion cubic feet of gas. Well, quite a positive development there, of course, in the nation of Egypt. Now, a Gambian farmer visiting China has hailed the assistance provided by Chinese agricultural experts in helping to modernize farming practices in his country, boosting incomes and employment. The 4th China-Africa Economic and Trade Expo was held from June 13th to 15 in central China's Hunan province. Now, China-Africa Agricultural Cooperation continues to deepen, and a number of Chinese agricultural aid projects have taken root and advanced across Africa. Over the past 5 years, Chinese hybrid price has taken root and flourished in Gambia. Dabo's farm, in particular, has undergone a remarkable transformation, evolving into the country's first fully mechanized farm. His rice cultivation area has expanded from just 3 hectares to over 100 hectares, turning previous losses into steady profits.
Before their intervention, there were the machineries. I don't understand the technology well, but they came in, helped me. They were right with me inside the mud, trained me the new technologies, and helped me to get the machines. And now, because of that, I can say me and a lot more Gambians are doing rice production.
Well, according to the Chinese organizers of the program, the success story in the West African country is 6 years in the making. Wang Yong, Vice Dean of the Long Ping High-Tech International Training Academy, said they had initially dispatched 5 exports to Gambia in 2019.
There has been a very significant change because one, their hard work has now reduced, one, and number 2, I will say probably 30 to 40% increase in the income.
Now, Doba says that the assistance that was given was significant and had impacted youth employment in the Gambia. As he continues to promote the farm equipment services in Gambia, Doba's team now provides mechanized services for over 2,000 hectares of farmland for neighboring farmers. During peak seasons, these farmers are flooded with more orders that they can handle thanks to mechanized farming. However, they no longer have to endure back-breaking manual labor, and their incomes have significantly increased.
Captain Wally J's about to take you to boot camp.
It's the riveting science and tech show that keeps you up to date with the hottest gizmos on the block and revealing the illustrious and innovative visionaries in Zimbabwe. So much to see, you'll keep swiping.
This cherry red beauty is the Dairy Auto M7 mini electric car.
They've designed our brute force incubator board.
Look at what we've got here.
Solar powered scarecrow was part of the project that I was supposed to complete.
Catch Swipe every Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. on ZTN Prime, DSTV channel 294. Get the picture?
Learning has gone up and away on the ZTN Prime Kids block as we blast off into the world of science, language, mathematics, and many more.
There's a living dinosaur in the woods.
Get the crew together. Let's have an after-school homework party.
Your friends would think so too. Definitely. It would be nice if everyone could enjoy them. Aliens.
Unicorns.
I wonder what the unicorns would wear.
Remember, learning is fun when you're tuned into ZTN Prime.
Boy Robo to the rescue!
The ZTN Prime Kids block. Catch it Monday to Friday from 3 to 5 p.m. on DSTV channel 294. Get the picture?
Welcome back to the Mid. We're coming to you from Zimbabwe's capital, Harare. I'm Ibn Mabunda. Now, European stocks 600 banks were 1.3% higher at 9:55 a.m. UK time, while oil and gas stocks gained 1.18% as investors took in the latest from the Israel-Iran conflict, which is driving crude oil prices sharply higher and reigniting inflation concerns. Sectors in decline include healthcare, which is down 0.7%, and food and beverages down 0.5%. Overall, the Stoxx 600 index was up 0.33%. In a sign that last week's safe haven flight is abating, spot gold prices slid 0.5%, while the US dollar index lost 0.24%. Investors remain alert to ongoing geopolitical tensions, but they're not reaching for their teen, had said Russ Mould, investment director at AJ Bell. Now, Namibia's Minister of International Relations and Trade, Selma Ashipala Musamvi, who was attending the 4th Jan Africa Economic and Trade Expo in the central Chinese of Changsha, praised China's commitment to a zero-tariff policy toward African countries for promoting unity in the global south. As the two nations mark 35 years of diplomatic ties, the minister, in an interview with the China Global Television Network, shared her vision for the future of China-Namibia cooperation and the broader impact of China-Africa trade ties on upholding multilateralism.
Before Namibia's independence, we have put economic content to our relationship. Our trade is growing. China is participating in almost all the sectors in our country. At the bilateral level, we have concluded a number of bilateral agreements that are basically bringing out a win-win outcome between our two countries, especially also including at the multilateral level. We are cooperating with China because we believe that South-South cooperation is mutually beneficial for our two countries.
Now, of course, China has maintained its position as Africa's largest trading partner for 16 consecutive years. On Wednesday, China announced the expansion of zero-tariff treatment for 100% of tariff lines to all 53 African countries that have diplomatic relations with China.
A player on the global scene, being it in the political, economic, and cultural sphere. We have made milestones in our bilateral cooperation. We thank the Chinese government for the announcement made yesterday that China is going to allow products from Africa to come into the Chinese market, to access the Chinese market with zero tariff. We are in the process of studying the required process because we believe that this will enhance Namibia's market access to this big market. It's a welcome development because we live in a world, as you said, full of uncertainties and unpredictabilities, a world that is basically a threat to multilateralism. For Namibia, we believe that when every country has market access, when every country has an opportunity to trade freely, then there will be peace in the world. So we want to commend China for this gesture to the African countries, and I hope that others can follow suit.
Now, TikTok today unveiled a slate of generative AI tools designed to help automative creative production. They'll not only live natively on TikTok, but will also be integrated within Adobe Express and WPP Open for marketers' use. As part of its Symphony suite of AI-powered creative products, TikTok will now offer image-to-video generation to transform still product images, inspiration mood boards, or brand visuals into 5-second branded video clips. Text-to-video capabilities will also be available, letting marketers enter short prompts to produce automated video content. The news coincides with the first day of Cannes Lions, where TikTok this year has taken over part of the famed Carlton Hotel for 4 days of programming. TikTok sees the tools helping marketers test creative variations and scale custom content. The company's global head of creative and brand products, Andy Young, described the offerings as accessible and agile in a statement. TikTok is also building on its 2024 rollout of human-like digital avatars, AI-generated creators that can be deployed to promote brands, products, or services. With a few offering called Symphony Showcase products, marketers can upload a visual with a brief text blurb and get lifelike videos with aviators that can hold products, model clothing, or demo mobile apps. Symphony features are also extending beyond the TikTok platform, the company has said. The new image-to-video feature will be integrated into Adobe Express, Adobe's platform for social-first content development, using the Symphony plug-in launched last year for TikTok music licensing. Users can now use the image-to-video feature. The arrangement builds on TikTok's long-standing partnership with Adobe. The two have worked together previously to adapt Adobe Express and Adobe Premiere Pro products to streamline TikTok content creation. And of course, that's a wrap on The Mint today. Do follow us on our social media handles as In Papers TV Network, as well as at ZTN Prime. Remember to catch us every weekday at 2 p.m. Central African Time for the juiciest business stories in Zimbabwe, on the continent and beyond. I'm Ibe Mabunda, the Money Man. Let them do what they do, and we do what we do. We mean business. Thank you for watching, and have a good day.
They call me Racer X, or in this case, Racer J.
Put your seatbelt on.